Hey everyone, welcome to Inside Indiana Overtime. John Bomberfine, Alex McCarthy. Inside Indiana, you know the drill. We're here in a totally quiet assembly hall. A couple hours, yes, quaint even. Especially after the punishment that our ears took during the game itself. It was a sold-out crowd. It was amazingly loud, and it helped contribute. I think you have to admit it helped contribute to Indiana's 89-70 win over number 13 Maryland. And Mark Turgeon said after the game that it never really felt close, for a lot of the game it just didn't feel that close in the second half, especially because Indiana shot just insanely well. They were 60% for the game, and a totally unreal 72% in the second half. They hit 6 of their 8 threes after halftime, and just everything was going down. Even when the game was out of hand, shots just kept falling, kept falling, kept falling for Indiana. Yogi Ferrell, who I think had back-to-back games of like 7 points or 9 points or something in single digits,
Yep.
found his scoring stroke tonight and went off for a team high 24 points.
Yeah, Yogi was pretty incredible. 20, like you said, 24 points, 8 for 10 from the field, 7 of 8 from beyond the three-point line. And so in the second half, he had 15 points, made all 5 of his three-point shots. And I was actually 9 of 11 from 3 in the second half for an absurd 81.8%. And like you said, that Turgeon said it never really felt close. Even in the first half, it kind of felt close, but once he came out, the second half was making all its shots, like he said, and 72% is utterly ridiculous.
Silly, yeah.
And so I'm near positive that the 15 threes IU made tonight, they went 15 to 22, second in program history to the 17 it made against Illinois in, I think it was 2002, which is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But incredible shooting performance. And Yogi against Illinois was just 1 of 9 from the field. Penn State, he was 3 for 8. But in his last in IU's 3-game winning streak, you'd think that Yogi would be somewhat of an offensive force, but he actually only shot 5 of 25 from the field in his last 3 games. It's only 20%. So really not anything special that came out tonight. Just really incredible. I don't think you'll ever see a shooting performance like that, probably in college basketball this season.
Yeah, it was just amazing to watch, and yeah, Farrell's been shooting very poorly recently, and really hasn't been the scorer that he was last year, especially. But he's still been distributing the ball well. I think he had like 8 or 9 assists and only 1 turnover against Illinois. So he's been playing well. On the defensive end, he wasn't great against well, he's actually pretty bad against Illinois, trying to guard Kendrick Nunn. But tonight he kind of put it all together,
Yeah,
and
you could say he played a near perfect game. I mean, 24 points, shot 8% from the field, only missed 1 3-pointer of his 8 that he shot. Also finished with a team high 5 assists, 0 turnovers, and kept Melo Trimble to, I believe, just 10 points. He came in averaging just a little over 16, leading the team in points per game, 4 of 9 from the field. And he also got blocked a few times and just didn't look like anything the player I had seen, at least watching some of Maryland's games. I'd say really the only Terp who had a good game was probably like Jake Lane in his first half.
Yeah,
And
only the first half. I think he only had 2 points after halftime.
Yeah, and Maryland didn't necessarily play a bad game either. I mean, they shot
50.
I mean, they shot above 50%, and 50% exactly from the three-point line. The big thing with the Terps was they only shot 12 free throws, and coming into the game, they had shot more free throws than any other team in the Big Ten by a pretty wide margin.
Yeah, and they were also leading the Big Ten in field goal percentage defense, which obviously Indiana shot like almost twice what Maryland had been allowing before. I think they came in allowing opponents to shoot 37% from the floor. Indiana ends up shooting 60 tonight, which is just, and we keep saying it was nuts to watch. And actually, probably a lot of you weren't able to watch because it was on ESPNU.
It's just too bad.
Yeah. But I'm sure SportsCenter will be showing all the highlights and whatnot. James Blackman Jr. had a really good night tonight. He had 22 points and some, he was hitting threes. He had a couple nice dunks. But
to me, at least, from going back to the game against Ohio State a few Saturdays ago when he just looked a little tentative. And that was the game against D'Angelo Russell, 2 of the top 3 freshmen in the Big Ten, and not only the Big Ten but in the country. Blackman just looked really assertive from the get-go, at least to me. and his shot has looked really good over the last few games. And he seems to have, after hitting somewhat of a lull in the Big Ten, and like I remember he went 1 of 14 against Michigan State. He's seemed to have found his game again.
Yeah, definitely. Back-to-back pretty good games for him, and just, yeah, like you said, after a really slow start to Big Ten play, I think there were a lot of people who were saying, just, maybe he's already tired out. He's a young guy, freshman, isn't that big anyway. But he's kind of proven that wrong. And then Collin Hartman, speaking of proving people wrong, just, a lot of people thought Emmett Holt was going to be the guy to take over for Hunter Perea. Hartman's started the last 3 games and has looked phenomenal.
So many good things you could say about him.
Yeah, I mean, we've been saying great things about him all year. His scrappiness going all over the place. Tonight, like you mentioned, or like we've been kind of talking about, he did a little bit of everything. He had 3 blocks, 15 points, I think, which is a career high.
Yeah.
He scored like 7 in the first 4 minutes.
Yeah, made all 4 of his shots, 3 for 3.
Yeah. The only shot he missed was
3
a free
at
throw.
The free throw line.
I think the first shot
of the game.
Yeah.
Because he got fouled 6 seconds in.
Yeah. So he was just doing everything for Indiana, which
I mean, as he always does, and one of my probably, I don't know why this is, but one of my favorite things about tonight's game was in the press conference afterwards when Yogi Ferrell was asked about Collin Hartman, and Yogi called Collin a stretch 5.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I've heard. You hear like stretch 4, but I don't know when you ever hear stretch 5.
And he called him like an undersized.
Yeah,
it's like this really weird
5.
niche like position. That's what Indiana is, I guess. They just play with
Hartman at 6'7" is your undersized stretch 5.
It's just a kind of bizarre
what
line.
that means, which is great line. And I will make a personal vow. I know in the last few games that IU's played in the previews, I've talked about IU size and how they match up against other teams that have size, and I will not do that again because even though Maryland doesn't really have a true post presence, they are bigger than IU at every position, and IU beat them by 19. And not only that, they got pretty much any shot they wanted. Granted they're smaller so they're quicker, but if you have length, you can still contest shots. They got pretty much any shot they wanted. So IU with a 6'7" wing playing center. Is on a 3-game winning streak without Hunter Perea, and it is looking like a really good team right now.
Yeah, tied for first place in the Big Ten with Wisconsin. We'll see if they can keep this streak going. We're gonna get out of here because it's late. It's almost 1 a.m. But once again,
immediate trip to Steak and Shake.
Yeah, we're gonna go get some steak burgers after this. It's almost happy hour. But for John Bauerfein, I'm Alex McCarthy. Thank you so much for watching.